I'm Jake Bruton and welcome to the Build Show, and today we're standing on the far side of the pond from our building because I want to talk to you about the roof, and this is the best angle to see the roof from. And today we're going to talk about why we chose a metal roof for the project, how we talk to our clients about metal roofing, and today's episode is sponsored by the Metal Roofing Alliance. Let's do it now. Okay, when we talk to our clients, one of the first topics that we bring up is durability. In fact, if you were to go to our website, one of the first words you see on our website is durable. All of the people that we talk to talk about low maintenance. They talk about, oh, we don't want to do maintenance to the outside of our house. I will say that I had a client once say, I want a zero maintenance building. And I said, you should buy a condo because that's the only way you're going to get absolute zero maintenance. But we can do a lot of things that will take us to a lower maintenance building. We can do and choose things that will make the building easier for our clients in the long run. And one of the conversations that always comes up is the selection of the correct roofing material. In our market, there are kind of only two. I get it in other areas of the country. There are things that are not available here, but in our market, it is either shingles or a metal roof. And when I say metal roof, I mean standing seam metal roof, hidden fasteners. That's the best way that we think you can go when we're talking about a metal roof. Let's talk about why we would choose a metal roof. I think that when we start to have this conversation, there are like 6 things that lead us to the choice of a metal roof. And those 6 things are the 6 things that we talk about when we talk to clients. Those 6 things are durability, longevity, weather resistance, your investment, your installation time, and lastly, the low maintenance aspect. So first, let's talk durability. When I talk about durability for a metal roof, I start the conversation against a shingle roof. And one of the things that we like to talk about is on day one on the install of a shingle roof, there are concerns for, is it too hot? Are the granules of the shingle roof going to be peeling off because people are walking on them? On day one, those granules start running off the roof when it rains. The gutters will immediately have those little particles off the roof in them. That is deterioration. That is the roof starting to age from day one. It's something that happens. It's something that is part of the product. It's something that is unavoidable. And when we start talking about that durability aspect, metal roofs don't rust if they're installed properly. Metal roofs don't have those issues. They're not going to decay. It is metal, and when installed properly, it's not going to have those issues. So from a durability standpoint versus the competition, it's just not the same product. Next is longevity. So when we start talking about longevity with our clients when it comes to this, there is a very simple math equation. And I actually took the time when we were talking about making this video to call my actual insurance agent, who happens to work for a nationwide firm, and ask if they had statistics from their actuaries as to how long a metal standing seam roof lasts versus a shingle roof. And their quote that they're supposed to use from their stats is a metal roof lasts 40 to 70 years and an asphalt roof lasts 20 to 30 years. So we're talking about double the length of time at least. Now, the one asterisk that our insurance agent added in this conversation was, that is assuming no storms. So we're going to talk about the weather problem here in a minute. But if we just say it's going to last twice as long, in our market, it is not double the cost to install a metal roof in most cases. Obviously, installation costs are all affected by complexity and things like that. But if you're going to get a roof that is going to last upwards of 70 years, chances are you're not going to be paying for another roof in that time period. I certainly could not afford to build a house in a time period where 70 years was going to affect me paying for another roof. It's also something that comes up when we start talking about the investment side of things. When clients ask and when it comes up, we generally have the tendency to say, look, you shouldn't be building a custom home, period, if you're planning on moving in 5 years. And so maybe the metal roof doesn't make sense if it's a 5-year investment home, but that's not the client that you should be building for in the first place. You should be building for people that want things done the right way, that are going to be staying in this home long term, that are going to be here for the long haul. And those people that are concerned with doing things the right way, with durability, with an investment, they're going to see the right way to do this for the longevity of the building. The third thing on our list is return on investment. So this is one of, I think, the easier conversations. Obviously, we can talk about things from a warranty standpoint when we start talking about manufacturers, say like Sheffield that we used here on this project. You get something ranging from a 30 to 50-year warranty, depending on products that you're using from different manufacturers. Sheffield's a quality manufacturer, you get a great warranty from them. However, you don't get a 30 to 50-year warranty from an asphalt manufacturer. We actually don't really sell things based off of the warranty. We don't want to have to sell things based off of warranty. We want to sell things based off of just how is your initial cost going to be affected. And so we have this conversation, the metal versus shingle conversation, in the incandescent light bulb family. Meaning we don't buy incandescent light bulbs, we buy LED light bulbs. And as a society, we tend to all understand that at this point, because we understand that the 99-cent incandescent light bulb or $2 incandescent light bulb, whatever it costs now, is going to cost us more money in the long run over the $10 or $15 quality LED light bulb because of operational costs, because of the long-term cost, because it's not just first cost. It's not just the initial install budget. It is the long-term operational costs. It's the maintenance. It is the replacement cost, and it's the long-term cost. It's not just first cost, it's how much is it going to cost over the lifetime of the building. And when you take into account that 40 to 70 year thing and the longer warranty and the lack of maintenance, now that LED light bulb makes a heck of a lot more sense. And there's really no reason to be looking at the shingle cost, because the initial install cost that is more is greatly outweighed by the fact that you're not going to have to pay for a second or third roof in the lifetime of this roof. I will admit that when we start talking about reduced installation time, that's not one that really is a huge sales point for our clients. It is a little bigger for us than the clients, but when we start talking about clients have mortgages, and as you go through the process of building the home, every dollar that goes out the door on your construction loan, you have to be paying interest on. That install time can reduce by a week or so, or can reduce, depending on the size of the building, by a few days. If it moves construction schedule forward, if it reduces the time spent on construction, that's a positive for you and your building, and therefore your construction loan. And it can save the client money on the construction loan side of things. And it is something that we bring up, that even if it is a minor offset in the grand scheme of things, it is still an offset, and we can logically apply that offset to our clients, even if it's a few days. If it saves a week's worth of time on construction schedule, that week's worth of time could be a fourth of a month, could be a fourth of a month's worth of interest payment at the end of the project. That could be a few $1,000s worth of savings at the end of the project that they can recognize. The fifth thing that we talk about is the enhanced weather resistance. And I know that sounds like a fancy term, and I know that that sounds very much like a salesman tactic, but we do talk about the fact that, especially in our markets, both in the Kansas City market and the Columbia market, we get high wind. We don't get hurricanes, but we get tornadoes and just regular high wind. And we do get hail, especially in this time of the year, the spring to summer range, where we get unpredictable weather. The metal roofs that we're installing actually get a Class 4 hail rating, which, if you're not familiar, is a 2-inch diameter. So if you think of a baseball is a 3-inch diameter, 2 inches is pretty darn close to a baseball. That is a huge chunk of hail. we cannot buy a shingle that is class 4 rated as far as I'm aware of. That's a big deal, because if we're going to spend a good deal of money to put a quality roof on, we want it to be able to withstand the weather that we get. We get higher wind ratings than we're going to get with shingles. We're not going to have a shingle blow off or a piece blow off in a high wind event. Also, we don't have to deal with it in our market, but there are the ability to have a higher resistance to fires as well. If you're dealing with something like a WUI situation, a wildfire area, and that would be a sales point for us if we were in one of those markets. So it's one of those things that, while it is technically durability, we actually break out the weather side of things into a slightly different conversation, because everyone in our market talks about tornado shelters and they talk about unpredictable weather. This is part of that conversation. We're doing sealed roof decks. We're doing the ability to make sure that we're not going to be peeling shingles back. We're going to have a metal roof whenever possible. Our last one is that common theme that we started with. When we talk durability, we're also going to talk low maintenance. We can't offer a zero maintenance building, but we can offer low maintenance by making good choices. And when we start talking low maintenance, the less pieces that we have to deal with, the less exposed fasteners that we have to deal with, the better. And when you have, say, 1,000 individual pieces going onto a roof in the form of shingles, that's more likely to have connection points that leak. That's more likely to have exposed fasteners that leak. That's more likely to have edges that want to curl over time. Or, as we were talking about earlier, it starts to deteriorate. You get leading edges that are having problems that are starting to go. That's not going to happen here. In fact, I have them in my back pocket, my glass, the UV coating on them, so that when I pull up to a house, I actually can recognize that leading edge is starting to give, because you can see the tar showing through the asphalt shingles. It's one of the reasons that I've kept this brand of sunglasses, because it's very easy to see when we're having issues with shingles. It allows me to inspect the roof for longevity from the ground when I'm looking at an asphalt shingle roof. That's not something that I have to worry about here. I don't have deterioration. It takes a very long time. I've never had to replace one of the metal roofs that our company has put on a project. I've been in the industry since the mid-90s. That is lower maintenance. I don't think we have that to worry about. And when we make wise decisions, like moving our penetrations uphill so that they see less water, or deleting penetrations and taking them through a sidewall if we can, we're not even poking holes in a perfectly good roof. If this is your roof, if you have a penetration all the way down here, all the water that lands uphill of that runs down and hits that. All the water from above hits it. If you have your penetration all the way at the top, only the water that hits it from the sky hits it, and a little bit from above. So making some smart decisions like that can also make it lower maintenance. Taking those 6 things into consideration, I think that it's a very easy argument to talk to your clients, to make an easy decision, I should say, to move to a metal roof. I think when we talk about things like upgrading our windows, to going to a very high quality WRB, to using quality materials to build our cabinets, or quality flooring materials, all those things are the same conversation. And there really is no reason why we would go to a different roofing material in our situation. We're building houses for people who care about durability, who are investing in what we assume is going to be their largest investment of their entire life. And why would we compromise in this situation when we have so many other situations in the home that we don't compromise on things like durability? Take a look at a metal roof. Think about all the things that we talked about today. I think you'll come to the same conclusion that we have. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to check out the Unbuild It podcast. It is available a day early now, first and third Wednesday of the month here on the Build Show Network. And don't forget to check out all the other contributors to the Build Show Network. There is a ton of good content every single week. I think there's something like 14 other contributors. I lose track of how many other folks there are here. I learn a lot from them, and I'm really happy that I get to be part of this. I'm really honored that I get to make videos that exist alongside of all that other content. Till next time, have a good day.